Welcome to number 12.
Charlie and Dan podcast.
What is this, 8, 10?
9.
9.
9.
9?
Very German.
Yeah, very cool.
Do you want to thank our sponsor before we get
baby.
started?
So thank you to you for
welcome.
hosting us in your apartment. I wish people could see what this looked like. It has a dog cage now because you're going to get a dog. Yep. And that dog's going to have about 10 to 12 square feet to just freely roam.
It's going to be small, dude. So end size, 25 pounds.
Yeah.
But I think they start like this big.
Yeah.
When you get an 8-week-old puppy.
It'll be massive when it gets here.
The growth of a puppy is mind-blowing. I didn't realize that. I thought, it's going to be 25 pounds. So when you get it, it's like 12 pounds or something.
Yeah.
No, this thing's just going to be this tiny, defenseless, useless thing.
I'm excited for you to just have him pee all over your apartment.
So am I.
Watch you lose your mind.
So I won't lose my mind, dude. I'm ready.
You sure?
Yeah.
Wake you up in the middle of the night?
I'm ready, dude. I've signed up.
When is
signed
it?
up to not sleep.
When is it? The day?
Next Saturday. My Oura Ring's not going to get here in time, though.
To know how
I
bad
tried to
your sleep
order
is
like
gonna be.
the best sleep tracking thing so that I could see just how devastating the puppy is.
Yeah.
They have a 6-week backlog.
Too
popular.
My dog is an average, I'd say, hour shaved off each night. So I was doing like 8.5 even, and last night was like 6:40.
You go to sleep late though. I'm preparing, dude. I've been going to sleep at midnight, waking up at 7:45.
Yeah, but he wants to get up, man.
I'm ready.
He just wants to go earlier than you. I promise. He's gonna want out. You'll do fine.
I'm going to get her a little sleep mask. Maybe that'll keep her asleep, just a little puppy size.
Just a little puppy sleep mask. Shh. Little melatonin before
Good
she
night,
goes
sweetheart.
to bed. Hot glass of milk.
Surely that'll work.
Yeah, that'll do good. So you're getting the Golden Doodle.
Yeah.
This is going to be...
Mini Golden Doodle.
Yeah, this is going to be the premier type.
Very excited.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to look very goofy walking her.
What went into the thought Golden Doodle?
My favorite dogs are Labradors and Golden Retrievers. And I wanted one that didn't shed. Because when I was growing up, I had Labradors. They're awesome. But every day I would go to school just covered in fur.
Yeah. And
so I was like, all right, I'll just get a Labradoodle. And I guess those sometimes can be... Like the personality didn't work for whatever reason when they mixed a Labrador and a golden or a poodle. Sometimes it does, but they can be wonky, is what I was researching. So then I went, okay, Golden Doodle, close enough.
Very nice.
I'd love to get a Golden Retriever, just a straight up 80-pound
slobbering
Golden Retriever.
machine who just destroys your home.
Dude, I would love it. The problem is when you're in a 1-bedroom apartment, 80-pound dog is not the best move.
Yeah, we actually... Are you going to move out of here, do you think?
I don't know. I want to talk to you about that.
We'll have a little business chat. I think we could do better from a background perspective. I mean, I enjoy Sean's paintings, but I feel like it's not... There's not really a cohesive brand message going on.
No,
with
it's almost like we put a studio inside my apartment.
It's almost like we know one friend who draws things. And we're like, dude, could we have some of your paintings?
Sir.
We have white walls.
I have a barren apartment.
Yeah. The only things that I have on my walls are Smash Bros. Character posters.
Yeah. The only cool thing I have is the surfboard, and it's out of frame because we're sitting too low.
Gosh, damn. So let's get a new apartment. Let's make it look really sexy.
I'm game, man.
Back to our sponsor, and we'll just blow a bunch of money on it. So... Buy Charisma University.
We need this. Tell them.
This is a powerful sale.
Tell them what Charisma University is, Charlie.
Please. Money is so tight. And if you would just find it in your heart to put it... No, we're doing okay. Charisma University is great. We'll talk about it at the end of this. If you want
at the end?
From a pleading perspective, give money to charity water. You know what I mean? We've raised $175,000.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
It's pretty sick, man.
It's also crazy because we tried to do this last year and we raised $18,000.
Yeah, well, I think it's worth sharing what we learned. Have we talked about this?
No. But so the background is we tried this a year ago.
Yeah.
And we raised $18,000.
2 years ago. It was a year and a half. It was my 30th birthday.
Yep.
And I was in Brazil, and I distinctly remember putting all this effort into it. It was a Brad Pitt video. You know, Brad Pitt's huge. It was called How to Not Give an F-Bomb. I can say
Nah. We're still not monetized, by the way.
I know. So who cares? So it was called How to Not Give a F***, and it was on Brad Pitt and Fight Club, and I thought it was a very good video, and it had this like 2-minute, this is why water is important and it can save people's lives. And I remember being heartbroken at how little we raised compared to any other thing we'd done. When we'd sold our own courses, we'd sell way more courses. When we did a sponsor, it was worth more to the sponsor. Raising money for charity got a third to a half of what that would have done. Mm-hmm. And most of it came from our loved ones who just shelled out.
That was the thing. All the donors just like, oh yeah, that's my mom. That's my friend.
Yeah. And so I remember walking, we were in Brazil at the time. I was walking on the beach and what did I learn from this? And it was that You cannot make people care, and I don't even hold this against anyone, myself included, about people that are outside of their sphere of understanding in 2 minutes. It's impossible to do. You could, if you could get people to watch an hour-long documentary on water, people would be so generous. But 2 minutes in the middle of YouTube is not nearly enough time to make them give a crap about someone that they have no relation to.
They never thought of before.
So what I learned was, and then I looked at, okay, how come PewDiePie can raise all this money? How come Markiplier can raise all this money? Is it because
they're better than me?
Is it because they're so much more influential and their marketing is better? And I realized it's because they're not trying to make you care about the charity.
Yep.
They're saying, look, if you care about me, this is important to me. And for our relation, in the same way that the people who gave the most were the ones who cared about us, was our mom and our dad and our friends.
I've had friends do it. They're like, I'm doing a charity 5K, and the charity is for, and then I've never heard of it.
Well, let me make sure this is a good charity, because otherwise I'm not going to donate. Yeah.
Here's $50 because I like you.
Yes. And so that was what we did this time. And I was like, who do people care about? They care about Keanu Reeves. And if they're on the channel, maybe me. But mostly Keanu Reeves. So I related it to Keanu Reeves. And I said, if you want, in the spirit of Keanu Reeves, to be more like Keanu Reeves and just to make the world a better place, like Keanu Reeves, donate some money. And if you look at the comments, here for Keanu. And
I was going to say, when people comment when they donate, it's awesome because you can see that it worked.
Yes.
A lot of people wrote, you are breathtaking. A lot of people wrote, here for Keanu. Yep. Then a lot of people wrote really, really nice stuff about Charisma on Command and about us.
But and some people were affected by that's not to say, and no moral judgment cast on anybody. I think this is a foible, if you will, of the human brain in a global world, which is we can only really care about people in our own tribe. Our brains can't handle 7 billion people.
You heard about this, right?
Yeah.
You get like 100 people you can care about, even loosely.
Yes, 150. They were do you know the background of it? They were doing size of animal brains, and they found that the size of the brain corresponded loosely, at least in primates, to the troop size that they would have relative to body weight, of course. So they were looking at the size, okay, the bonobo's got 20, they've got this, and okay, what would a human be given a human size? And they found that it's roughly 150. And that's the number of close connections that you can effectively care about. And if you look at your friend list, it's probably more than 150, but the truth is, you don't really
care. Friend list.
Yes. Yeah. You don't really care about those 150. Yeah. But between your work colleagues, your extended relatives, and your friends, there's maybe 150 people that you can just care about, that you would donate to, that you would want good things for, and even sacrifice in order for them to have it.
It's going to be a slew of comments of people just being like, my monkey sphere has 6 people.
My monkey sphere.
I can already see it. I can already see the comments.
That's why Charisma on Command exists.
In my mind's eye. I know your jokes. I love you guys.
Go to the Introvert video. It can help you. So I was very proud of that. And I'm proud of everybody. I think that it's not that people don't have the capacity to give. It's that we haven't quite learned yet how to handle our tribal brains in a global world. Yeah. And we're working it out.
Have you read the comments on the donation page? Because it's worth a skim. Really, some of them are really touching.
Yeah. No, they're fantastic. That's my favorite metric to check.
It made me feel good.
Yeah, is the charity water page. It's been over, last I checked, 2,600 people. So thank you guys. It's awesome. I'm very happy about that.
Cool.
Yeah. How was your week, man? I know that you went surfing.
I did. So
you don't need to tell me everything that I know.
Well, one of our friends got a concussion.
Kissed the ocean floor.
Surprise. Surfing is way more dangerous than people realize.
Yeah.
I didn't realize this when I picked it up.
I was almost going to do it. And then I was like, wait a second. So you got a scar on the side of your head.
Well, I got a concussion surfing when I was in Brazil 2 years ago.
To be clear.
Well, that's because my immune system gave up.
Yes.
Because I was in the Brazilian water. So I was surfing. The thing is, people don't understand that you are in water, so you think you're safe, but you're not. It's not that it's like crazy life-threatening, but the board can hit you, the bottom of the ocean can hit you. But when you're doing it relative to the snowboarding, let's say, where you hit the ground, it's going to hurt. In surfing, you kind of have this sense of like, it's all going to be fine.
Yeah.
I'm going to just fall into water. So when it happened to me, I fell off the front of my board, and my own board cracked into my skull and literally broke on my face.
You didn't obviously pass out, right?
I got very dizzy, so I'm in the water, and I'm just like,
oh my gosh,
the side of my face is completely numb. I have no idea to the extent of the damage, like just numb. It cracked me right in the jawbone, and I'm kind of like seeing stars. And I'm just like, board, surfboard, because I know I'm in water.
It floats.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like,
it floats. I don't.
I don't trust myself not to drown.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, board, board. So I get the surfboard and I'm on it, and you're seeing stars, but I'm not having double vision or anything. I kind of get myself, I'm like, all right, I'm okay. And then I get up on the surfboard, and I'm sitting on the surfboard, and I put my hand in my face, and I pull it away, and there's blood.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not good.
Yeah.
And I can't feel my face. And it's kind of this thing where you're like, I'm not a doctor, so I'm unclear on if this means that I'm just temporarily numb or if I have nerve damage, and the side of my face is now just gone forever. So I'm just like, all right, I got to get to shore. So I'm paddling to shore. I get to shore. I talk to the lifeguard. Just kidding, we're in Brazil. So all of a sudden, I'm just like, how does my face look? And he's like, water? I was like, no, what is happening here? Like, do I have an ear still? And so I ended up in the Brazilian ER, and the Brazilian water is just garbage. So I had to go on a bunch of antibiotics for infection, and my immune system got all messed up. So we went out with my friend who doesn't really know how to surf, and I was telling him, like, hey, man, be careful. Surfing is more dangerous than you think. I had a big accident. But our other friend is just all about getting people to surf and love surfing, so he's trying to pass on the stoke. So he's like, no, dude, it's great. Let's go. Let's charge. Let's
shred the gnar.
He's just trying to, in a good way, he's trying to be positive. He's like, no, don't worry about that. Like, let's focus on the hype. Let's focus on getting you hyped and excited. And I'm like, I agree. These are some big-ass waves, though, and, like, you should maybe not come out to the big ones. You can stay on the inside. So I get overruled by the hype. And he catches an 8-foot wave and is on the top of it, and his board catches his nose, which means the board is basically destined to go underwater. As soon as the nose goes under, you're kind of screwed. He sees this and tries to bail, but he's basically standing on an 8-foot wave and dives headfirst off of it. And so he goes down and he hits the bottom and comes up, and he's got like a bump on his noggin. And so he goes in. I didn't see it, so I come in later. I'm like, how you doing? He's like, I'm fine, feel fine. Like, it only hurts right here. It's just a little bruise. So I was like, all right, whatever. I've seen a bunch of people get hit in the head doing MMA. Not every head contact wound leads to a concussion. So it's like, all right, you're fine, whatever. We go back to the house. And I'm like, do you need anything? You want ice? Like, no, I'm chilling, dude. I was like, all right, you want to play some ping pong? Because there's a ping pong table. He's like, yeah, let's do it. So we start off, and things seem fine. He's like, we're hitting it back and forth. And then halfway through the game, I hit him a pretty easy one, and he just goes at like that speed and completely misses the ball, and it goes out. And I was like, that's weird. He's like, oh man, that was a weird one. So then he's like, can we just try that again? So I hit him the same like slow, easy things, and he's just like, just whiffing, just hard whiffing. He whiffs like 8 times. He goes, maybe we should stop playing ping pong.
Maybe ping pong is dangerous.
Yeah. We should probably stop. Like, at this point, we're both kind of like, your brain's not working. Yeah. So then he went to the...
You got an fMRI or...
He went to urgent care and got a CT scan.
What? I don't know the difference.
His brain was not bleeding, though. Nice. So I don't even know if it counts as a concussion.
He said he had a hard time in the airport when I spoke to him.
Yeah.
He's like, it was a lot of lights.
Yeah.
It was a lot of brightness.
Yeah.
Poor guy. He's got the worst luck.
Still an amazing sport, but people just, I think, respect the danger.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a break. What else?
Take a break from start. I haven't started, but I'm going to take a break.
Yeah, we'll take a break from thinking about it.
When it happened, I knew. I was like, and that's the end of Charlie ever surfing.
He's done now.
That's it.
I like safe things like Super Smash Bros.
I got it,
where
man.
I
knew.
Safely
I knew.
We played last night, me and Henry, and we played way too much. And you know how much we play. And then we're on there and screaming at the television as we play online because we had to stop playing each other because it's too competitive.
Yeah. Well, you guys, it's hilarious. You had like a best of 30 or whatever, and someone got to like 13 wins. And it was just like, we can never finish this because we'll have to murder each other. No, we got to 28
wins, man. It's like 27 to 28, and it's too close. So yeah, we're just screaming online at like whatever, K1 and versus K2. And then I was like, dude, this kid's probably 10.
Yeah.
And I'm just screaming. And Henry's doing the thing where you can taunt people at the end.
Oh,
so after
really?
you knock off, Henry's such a sore winner.
Oh, yeah.
He constantly is just doing the taunts after we beat people.
That's hilarious.
And then we scream, and they have the audacity to re-challenge us, and then we scream some more. And I was like, if I actually saw who I was fighting, I'd be so ashamed now.
Yeah.
I'd be
For
so
sure.
embarrassed.
Just some really sweet 13-year-old.
Some 13-year-old. If we had headsets.
I don't think you'd do it if you had a headset, actually.
No, me? No way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Some kid was like, I want to... Yeah, I'd have to log right off, man. Yeah. I couldn't handle it.
No, I think the part of the joy for you is that you can just scream at.
I can imagine. I can superimpose
your
the
dad.
Worst. Steve. I wish he played video games. That'd be another thing for us.
I
to be
know we
competitive
talked about that.
Yeah,
it's so funny because you'll have parents.
we got my mom to play a little bit.
Did you?
Yeah,
Finally.
So we played Overcooked, which is the cooking game. If you don't know it, it's a kitchen with all the panic of the kitchen, and the whole difficulty of the game is not in the controls. There's 3 buttons: move, pick up, chop. That's it, right? The difficulty of the game is in coordinating because one person's running to the pot, one person's got to chop, and you go there, and that's the fun part. For my mom, the difficult part is moving.
Yeah,
She can't even maneuver the joystick. So we're screaming at her to like, pick up the radish, put it on the board. And that's a 30-second,
Did she have fun?
She said my head hurt, and then she went home.
Oh, wow. She did not enjoy her video game experience.
She likes hanging out with us. But
how long is she in town?
Till Tuesday.
Tuesday.
We got another buddy in town.
Got a lot of good mother-son time in.
Yeah, and then the other things I've just been reading. You know, once I got myself off social media, I'm addicted to books, and it's a slightly better addiction, I suppose. I've been reading. I go back and forth. I read a business book, and then I read one by Sadhguru, who is this Indian mystic. And it's such a weird juxtaposition because he goes, you know, everything is one. We are all united. And I stepped into... He's one of those people like Eckhart Tolle, who Eckhart sat on the bench and then was enlightened and sat there for 6 hours and didn't move and has never been the same since. This guy, according to him, had a similar experience where he went up to a hill and sat there for 16 hours and then came down and was just different. And then later at dinner with his family, he sat there for 6 hours while they tried to talk to him. He's like, please leave.
Wow.
And he just constantly is going into this state.
Well, that doesn't sound great.
He loves it.
He's like, sorry, loved ones.
Yeah.
You're dead to me now.
Not right now. You're dead to me now. We are one.
My children, we are one. I do not need to speak to you.
And yeah, so he's got that whole thing going on. And then I read these hard-nosed business books about how we got to cut off product lines and fire everyone. We're not going to fire you guys. It's a joke. If you're editing, I guess Angel's editing the video. You're safe.
You're not fired, Angel. Okay, thank you. Oh. Angel's over here like, hey, are you looking at Indeed job posts? What are you doing? I don't know. It sounds like times are going to get tough.
Yeah. So that's what I've been up to, man. It's been a normal week for me. Mom came in and yeah, just hanging out. Nothing crazy. Nice. I feel like I should have prepared more for this.
Nah, we've done great. You got to go soon too, right?
I got to go soon. So what do we got in the news?
So the first thing I have here is that Google admit that over 1,000 private recordings from their Google Home devices were leaked.
Most predictable thing ever.
Yeah, is that news? Were leaked to whom?
They were leaked to a Belgian news organization called VRT, who basically wrote this like slam piece on Google talking about how easy it was for them to get these recordings, like how easy it was for them to get these recordings and then trace it back to the people. And they went to the addresses and called the phone numbers that they found through these recordings and actually confronted them and told them, hey, we have these and we don't work for Google, basically.
Wow.
So what happened was Google, I guess, to improve their algorithm, takes their recordings and sends them to transcribers.
Okay.
That don't work at Google. They're contractors. So they're like, oh, you have a Google Home? Well, we'll just take that data from your home and we'll just send it to random people. Mm-hmm. And then the random people are supposed to not leak it. But one of them was just like, hey, I have these and I'm going to send them to a news thing.
Because why not?
Yeah. And that's what happened.
I was just thinking about this. Nobody cares that their privacy doesn't exist anymore. Because the prevailing sense is, I'm neither famous enough for anyone to randomly attack, nor am I doing anything so egregious that they'd pick me out of a crowd, so I don't care.
Yep.
And, I mean, I was thinking of all these things. The Donald Sterling tapes way back when. Those were illegally recorded. And it doesn't matter if something is illegally obtained. The news will run it.
Oh, yeah.
So
the news was stoked to have this.
So as long as they can't find the person that leaked it, there is no privacy. There is no incentive to keep anything secret. And I think we're very quickly going to be living in a world where you might not care, but your entire internet history is public knowledge, including all of the weird porn that you watch.
Well,
you know,
it's not going to
everything.
Matter. It won't matter to you until you try to do something. And then if you try to do anything exceptional, all of a sudden it will matter.
Exactly. Because I actually think what it does is it locks the status quo in a deeper sense of power. Because everybody has said, done, viewed something on the internet that taken out of context looks nefarious or weird or, beyond the pale. And like you said, man, it's not going to bother 99.999% of people. But when an Andrew Yang in the future runs and starts to do a good job, what do you know? Back in 15 years ago, he said, wrote, or viewed this thing, and he's done.
By the way, they officially said that those Google Homes do sometimes record you before you say the phrase. Of course, we have talked about this, but I'm just saying it is official. You don't have to say whatever it is, hey Alexa or Google Wake or whatever. Is it
a conspiracy for me to say that this is listening all the time, and my ads that I get served do not need to have the apps open?
So this was literally saying, because they have the full transcripts. Every transcript should start with every transcript should start with whatever the wake up word is, like Google Wake.
Yes.
Does not.
Of course.
So there are recordings that are occurring without.
Mom got me an Alexa for my birthday. I was like, thanks for the NSA spying
device.
Yeah, like, I don't have more of these. Like, this one isn't even trying to pretend that it's not listening to me. Its entire selling proposition is that it's always recording.
Yeah.
And if you think they're throwing that out,
that's official.
And everybody's got a story of how they spoke about some random thing on their phone that they've only spoken about once, and they logged into Facebook, and what do you know? There's an ad for that thing.
Yeah.
And we all just go, oh, so weird. I don't like it. And then we look... Nothing changes.
Gotta have Facebook though. How would I? Where would I post photos?
How would I know what to buy without Facebook?
Gotta have Facebook.
Yeah, that's a really interesting story.
Yeah.
What else we got?
We got some good current events.
Yeah.
Today was chock full of good ones.
Nice.
Angel did a good job.
Thank you. A popular YouTuber named Dr. Mike. He's an actual doctor, but he makes YouTube videos.
Yeah, I've seen his stuff. Well, seen his thumbnails.
Yeah, and I mean he gets recommended a lot. He does well on YouTube. He was on a plane on the way to Israel.
And someone needed a doctor?
Somebody, somebody had an allergic reaction, and they announced, "Is there a doctor?" And he jumped up.
Of course he did. He's Dr. Mike.
Well, and it was a cool story because there was not really any materials or resources for him to help this guy. So, well, there was, but he sort of had to, there was no EpiPen.
Okay.
But they had just raw epinephrine for like a heart attack, so he had to make that work. And so it was just a nice story.
Epinephrine.
He's a real doctor.
He doctored him.
He's a real doctor, and he saved a real life.
Did he save a life?
Mm-hmm.
We saved a life.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then
that's crazy.
And this is sort of random,
cool, right? Just like some guy that you've seen on YouTube is on a plane.
Dude, you're hoping someone's taking that footage.
Well, he came out. He made a video talking about it.
4 views, though. Yeah, interesting. Somebody.
Turns out it's a Jesse Smollett situation.
To be fair, somebody got it on camera. Yeah, it was an
inside job. Oh, help, I'm choking.
Oh, help. Dr. Mike's here.
I'm getting very swollen.
A gorgeous stewardess. It's just like, is there a doctor?
Yeah. We're on to you. No, actually, it's pretty cool, though.
That is cool. Good for him, man. That's amazing. What else happened?
That's not good enough for you. You want more?
I want more, man.
More of the story or another story?
Another story.
Okay.
That's just interesting.
Okay, so,
yeah.
So,
some sort of weird YouTuber allegiance there.
Yeah.
Like, oh, nice.
So for the last,
what if there's a charisma emergency one day on an airplane, and they're like, "Is there a charisma coach?
There are hijackers, and we need someone to negotiate. Someone with no experience, who's charismatic."
I did make a video on how to win any argument.
I'll do it. I've studied debaters.
A guy just asked a girl who's sitting next to him out, and it's incredibly awkward. Someone save us! I heard a story. Does that ever happen to you where you sat next to someone that there was any...
That they fell in love?
Yeah.
No.
I heard Dylan. Remember the Brazil story?
What?
You don't remember this?
No.
So our buddy who lived with us in Brazil went home and came back, and he came in with a big... You don't remember this?
No.
He found a girl that he sat next to on the flight, and he said they made out the entire time.
No, what?
You don't even hear this story?
No.
It was like a 9-hour flight.
That's hilarious.
Like, we made out the whole time.
Good for him. No, I've never done that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, not me. I don't
even think I've ever sat next to someone I was attracted to.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, some people just get all the luck, man.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, true love on an airplane.
Never to be seen again, obviously.
Well, I think he actually said they didn't exchange information, and maybe he's making the whole story up. But
it was amazing.
But they didn't exchange information. They just talked. It didn't occur to them, and then they got separated at you go
Customs?
this passport, you go this passport. That was the end of it. Which is also classic. Classic,
yeah.
Poorly prepared.
50-50 chance that happened.
I believe it. I want to live in a world where that happened. What else?
So do you guys remember starting last year, Facebook had the scandal, the Cambridge Analytica scandal, where...
Of course.
So that sort of has a bit of a conclusion this week. the FTC hit Facebook with a $5 billion fine.
With a B.
Which sounds like a lot, but who was it? There was a congressperson, Congressman David, I can't pronounce his last name, but he says it's just a slap on the wrist, that there should be more repercussions.
There were hundreds of billion, right? So you figure that's
I have no
less
idea what a
than
fair punishment should be.
I don't either. It's just less than a percentage of their net value. So imagine you did something and someone that was pretty bad
0.5% of my
and took
net worth.
0.5% of your net worth. Would that deter you in the future? Not really.
No. I wonder if they made more than $5 billion doing the illegal stuff. You know what I mean? I wonder if even forget slap on the wrist. I wonder if this was a ROI positive move on their part, minus the media.
Well, you figure it generally is if it continues to happen, and because this is the one that got caught, but the general practice of having more open data or sharing with these people. And the other thing, I don't know the whole Cambridge Analytica story, but it was stolen data, correct? From Facebook?
I have no idea.
So perhaps they should have had better safeguards in place, but I don't think that they gave it to them. I think that it was available in too easy of a way, and Cambridge Analytica was the company that came in and extracted it and then repackaged and sold it and tried to influence the election. That's my high-level understanding. I was mostly watching the hearings to see if Mark Zuckerberg was weird so I could make a video about it.
Just trying to figure out what he does with his hands that makes people dislike him. Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, he's drinking his drink.
That's the weird stuff. I mean, just in general, I don't know how to react to that. It's like $5 billion sounds like a lot, could be not a lot.
I don't even know what they did.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not clear on if this punishment fits the crime.
Let's just go with cool.
Nice.
Nice. What else?
And this one's just sort of silly, but I thought I'd share it with you guys to see what you thought. Somebody made a Facebook event called Storm Area 51. They can't stop all of us. And we're close to 1 million people, 866,000 to be exact, have agreed to go to this event.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's basically Burning Man, right? It's out in the desert. They're just going to bring a bunch of drugs and find the aliens.
That'd be great. I don't think they'll actually do it, but it made me think like this is the future. You know, I'm surprised 1 million people haven't gone outside of Chick-fil-A's corporate or whatever and protested. It's so easy to mobilize people.
Well, I think they have. Well, this is a really important thing that they're doing. You know, they've made contact. And
just
they
1 million
haven't been
people.
telling us. There was a guy on Joe Rogan who was just insisting. I didn't watch the whole thing, but that he was in a government. Did you watch?
I watched part of it. I actually thought it was interesting. Henry was like, that guy's full of shit. But when I was watching, I was like, oh, this could have happened.
I didn't watch it. I don't know. The thing that I generally have with those huge things is these are massive, would require a massive
Yeah, it only
cover-up.
takes one leak.
And for you to come to me with words isn't, where's the alien tech? Like, show me something. It would take one person
all around
to
us,
extract. That's what he said. It's in my phone. It's in
alien
my
tech.
It's in my
Right
phone.
here.
It's in my this. It's in my that. Perhaps it's true. I tend to see the things that happen in the world as it just kind of posits that there's these brilliant people at the top who are so much smarter than the sheeple beneath them.
Right.
As opposed to
It's all people.
it's all people.
Yeah.
And we all lie and we cheat and we steal and somebody leaked Facebook's data. Why wouldn't they leak this government stuff in a far more obvious way? So or Google's data, that was the other story.
When I saw this, I'd like to think like, what would actually happen if 1 million people did storm Area 51?
Where is it?
It's
in Roswell, correct? That's supposed to be the spot.
Well, it is illegal. And I think if one person charged it, they would tackle you and arrest you.
Is it?
If 1 million, do they just start shooting you, mowing you down with machine guns? Or do they just go, fuck it?
Is it a spot? Area 51 is a spot?
Yeah,
or no?
I think so.
And it's got all this lore behind what is allegedly there. I understand.
And it's like fenced off and you can't really get to it. But
man,
no,
that's
it's a
dope.
place. It's not like the
That's
Bermuda
dope.
Triangle where they don't know where it is.
So the thing with Facebook invites is you've been to those parties where everybody says they're going to go and
no one's
15 out of 30 show up.
Yeah.
And that's in your town down the street.
Yeah. No, I was just thinking, what happens if 1 million people do bum rush Area 51? I don't think the U.S. government just starts mowing down its citizens with machine guns.
They claim the alien tech
I think
for
it
themselves.
would work.
It becomes theirs.
Yeah.
And then they have the laser guns.
Yeah.
The organized people.
I'm just saying, if people follow through on this,
They are new
no one can
overlords.
stop them.
Yeah. And especially after they get the laser guns. It's going to be a lot harder. Yeah. I think it's a great idea.
So yeah, do it.
Power to the people. Anything else interesting?
Yeah, so a father and his young son, they built a Lamborghini from 3D printed parts, which
Wow.
I thought was interesting, and they've sunk $20,000 into it so far.
And it's like a Lamborghini. I don't understand the 3D printing thing. I guess.
I think it's going to be the future, dude. People are 3D printing houses.
Well, that's what they tell me, that it's the future. I don't even understand how it works. Wow. Does it run?
Yeah,
It doesn't have a Lamborghini engine. It has a different engine.
It has. I have it written down. 1 second.
Oh, it's fine. It does have an engine. They're working on it. I thought the cool thing with this is like, you at some point will never have to buy anything again. Like you're like, oh, I want a microphone stand. That's cool. I'll just download the blueprint for microphone stand, and then I'll push a button, and my 3D printer will just go, we'll get that to you in 8 minutes.
I don't understand that stuff. So that also means that the constituent parts need to be in your home.
No, you just run with it all with like this like small plastic that can get shaped into anything.
Yeah, but plastic doesn't conduct electricity. So you need
Sure. To get at a higher level, you'd need like a big tub of plastic.
You can get a
big
shape
tub of metal
of anything out of plastic, but to have a Lamborghini run, it needs a certain type of metal. It needs a certain type of all of these different things. And I guess maybe a lot of it just is steel. That is, so you just have a ton of steel and it just puts it in a particular shape, and I guess that works. That's crazy.
It's not there yet, but it made me, when I saw the story, I was just thinking that in 20 years, you will just have an interface on your wall. And like, instead of Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
It's like, what do I want? Oh, I want this book. Okay. Boop. And it'll just produce a book.
Well, I think you just use Kindle.
Okay, whatever it is I'm saying, though. Like, if you wanted to get a lamp, if you wanted to get a microphone stand.
Which future technology are you most excited for?
Good question.
Teleportation. No, which actual one that they're working on?
That is a good question. I mean, nanotech if it's real, but I've heard that nanotech will never actually happen.
So something like Tony Stark's
Iron Man thing. Or I like the nanotech ability to repair. Like in the sci-fi world of things, you can imagine a world where you can lab grow organs, and you can use nanotech basically to lab grow an organ inside of you. Let's say. So like you get shanked, and for whatever reason your liver's bleeding out, and they're just like, oh, get the nanobots, and they go in and they like lab grow a liver inside your body, and you just never die.
I like VR because it kind of makes all that superfluous.
Yeah.
That's why I'm looking forward to it.
You just want to plug in.
Yeah. And then who needs organs, right? At that point. That's awesome, though. I want a 3D printer, but more. We should do VR this week. Let's go find a good spot.
Sure. We'll go with your mom.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else?
The last thing I have was I saw a clip from the Joe Rogan podcast. It was trending. Where strongman Robert Oberst says that you should not do deadlifts. And so I just wanted to see you guys take on that.
I just got a massage, and my guy told me, he said, this side of your back is stronger than the other. And I said, that's because I have scoliosis. He said, I could see that. It goes like this. And first time I saw the x-ray of my back as an adult, I got faint. It made me sick. I wanted to throw up.
Really?
Yeah. Just knowing that my insides were that messed up.
What does it look like?
Like an S.
So your spine, so normal spine goes like this.
Yes, it goes like this. So my spine kicks to the side, and then it's a longer recovery curve up top. It's a 20-degree curve down bottom, and I suppose that means that's a 20 up top. So for those of you who have that, but I saw it, dude. It just made me feel sick. I felt that way when I went to the Body Works as a kid, and I saw the inside of bodies.
Wait, so every time that you try to like squat, let's say you put weight on the top on your
and
shoulders,
so what's happening,
and instead like a normal spine, just straight up, and it's just like, we got this. Yep. And yours is just being like,
so he said
yours is being squished.
He said if you're deadlifting,
are parts of your spine just kissing every time you do?
He said you got two options. One, your cartilage gets destroyed. That's going to wear down, and that's going to be very painful. Or two, the curve will exacerbate, which is still going to destroy some cartilage. But you would imagine if you're yanking it this way, but it's got a curve, it's curving it more every time.
Are you going to be one of those old people that looks like a question mark?
I think I am an old people that looks like a question mark. What we were saying is I want to make that video after I fix this and I grow an inch or two.
How I grew
2 inches at age 31, and that's going to be a 10 million view video. No one else can unless they have
only
scoliosis.
But you don't say that until the last part
of the last minute. But yeah, so he said, do not deadlift, do not squat, especially for me. Now, I'm not saying that no one should. And that's music to my ears because
you hate lifting, yeah.
Do that. But I'm sold. I'm sold on no deadlifts. I'll do the...
This guy's argument made sense to me, which is he's not saying deadlifting is bad for everyone, but he's saying basically like do movements that fit with what you want to do.
Well, and also I watched this clip. He said that it's not a bad movement. It's so easy to hurt yourself doing this. The amount of stability and strength and technique required is, and then people just overload it and they can't do it. And we've been there. We were deadlifting more at age 23 than we ever have since by about a plate.
I was trying to
join 2 plates.
Do you remember this? I was trying to join the 1,000-pound club, which is when your bench, your deadlift, and your squat add up to 1,000 pounds. Why was I doing this?
Yep.
for no benefit
For
except
no
for my
benefit.
own ego.
Yeah.
And actually what happened was your muscle grows faster than your connective tissue.
Yeah.
And so my bench press got up to 295, and I was like, oh, so sick. And then both of my shoulder ligaments just started to tear. And I started having like massive self-inflicted shoulder pain.
Yeah.
So I had to stop benching for like a year. It's like, well,
You didn't have to.
that was dumb.
You chose to leave the
That's
1,000-pound
true.
club
I left.
for your shoulders.
I gave up. Weakness.
Weakness leaving the body.
Yeah, that was a good lesson in terms of don't be an idiot for your ego.
I was thinking of this because I went to go get rice, and I think on the podcast, my arsenic level is high because I eat a lot of rice and I eat a lot. The fitness and health worlds, unfortunately, it's these roll back and forth. Because 5 years ago, it was do not use machines. You got to do compound lifts. You got to you're not training the stability of these muscles. The only thing that you need is a deadlift and a squat. And I'm sure there's going to be a swing back now, not just with this, but
he's not saying use machines though. Did you watch it?
I
actually thought
he said
his
use
was
snatches and that kind
I
of stuff.
thought it was an interesting point, which is like for him as a strongman, what he has to do is explosive movement. So why would he do a static movement, which I actually think makes a lot of sense. So I think the good fitness advice is like, what do you want to do? Are you just trying to have good balance when you're older and not be able to like fall down and not break a hip?
Yep.
Then do a workout routine towards that goal. That was what I took away from it. It's like, yeah, people should have an idea of what they're aiming for and then do stuff that gets them there.
In addition,
I think is what he was saying.
Totally. And I don't want to put words in his mouth, but what I have noticed in the fitness industry at large is that in order to market fitness, which hasn't changed in millions of years, every 3 to 5 years, you need to say that what we were doing before isn't working. And also there's a ton of studies that back that up, and we need to go in this direction. And similar to fashion and health and the food pyramid being flipped on its head, and now bread is terrible for you. When I grew up, bread was the base of your food pyramid.
Sure. Philly soft pretzels for the base of your food pyramid.
And you need 6 to 11 servings a day. I'll have 6 to 11 soft pretzels.
Sounds great.
And now it's flipped. And so I'm always curious. I guess I was thinking of this in food. The only thing that seems to have been true for the last 50 years with nutrition is that veggies are good for you.
Yep.
And I'm wondering what that is in the weightlifting world. What has just been true for 50 years and not broken?
Don't lift too much too fast.
And cardio is important, I think.
I actually don't even think that that's necessarily true.
Not for weightlifting, for health,
But I think you're probably better off. Like, it depends what you mean by cardio. If you're going to jog 15 miles, I would say like just do some high intensity interval training instead. You'll lose more fat.
I guess that doesn't even hold up.
No.
Nothing holds up. It's all a circle. Yeah, I guess just try to stay active.
I like to think that I don't know which way the axis should go. I guess this way for you. But like I like to think it's kind of like this. Like I think our health and fitness understanding is better than it was 100 years ago. But we make oopsies, you know? Like eggs are good, eggs are bad. Where are eggs? We don't know.
Cigarettes.
But in general, like I think we're getting in the right direction.
Sugar-free.
Yeah.
Oh, that stuff gives you cancer.
Well, sugar-free is good.
Yes.
Sugar substitutes are bad.
Yes. But every sugar substitute was hailed as the next coming of Jesus.
And so that was one of these.
This was an oopsie.
That was an oopsie. But now
I agree. I think that generally it seems to be moving in the right direction.
We make oopsies.
There's big oopsies.
Yeah.
And there's stuff that we're doing today that we go out of. This is what I realized. Our kids are, in the same way that I asked my mom why she smoked, my kids, if I ever have them, or the generation after me, is going to go, why did you blank? I'm going to go, I did that on purpose. I thought it was good for me.
Why did you eat processed food instead of food that just comes from the earth?
Yeah.
Okay, well, see, the thing about those nutrition bars is
they had no sugar.
And
we thought that was great.
It had 1 gram of net carbs.
Yeah,
okay?
that was awesome.
Yeah, but
we thought the calories.
It's half poison.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we didn't know that at the time.
Yeah, my mom used to go outside, put baby oil on, and burn because that was awesome to do, and she smoked cigarettes.
Dude, I've officially hit the point. I'm an old man now. The benefits of tanning are now being outweighed by my fear of wrinkles.
Good.
I now hide from the sun.
And skin cancer, so.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
yeah, not my vanity, my concern for health.
Hey, what's next, Angel?
Yeah, what do we got next?
Do you guys want to answer some questions?
Yeah, fan questions.
So Marco asks, you've shared many great charisma tips and ideas, but how do you guys personally go about implementing them in practice? Are you systematic in your approach? Like today I focus on this, tomorrow I focus on that, or is it more random?
Great question, Marco.
For our sponsor. This is the reason that we made Charisma University is because we are systematic about it, in that the tough thing about the YouTube videos is I'm talking about a particular individual who does many things, and it needs to be entertaining. I try to make it useful, but number one, it's got to capture your attention, so I have to move quickly. The way to approach charisma is to each day do not overload yourself. If you try to do everything in a single video out there, you will probably do none of it, and it becomes harder. Now, can you get better that way? Sure. The way that we did it was we would find what we thought was our weakest point at any given time.
Or the most important thing. Because sometimes what you're weakest at is not actually the most important thing.
Exactly. And would focus on it until we felt like, okay, this is becoming a habit.
Yeah, the goal is unthinking habit. Because a lot of times you go out and you meet these people who are working on their social skills and they feel very robotic.
Yes.
It's very uncomfortable to talk to them.
Totally.
Those people are overloading themselves and they're not integrating into habits.
Exactly.
And so the thing is you want to pick one thing at a time, and you want to pick a smart thing to focus on each time that you make a habit, and then you move on to the next thing. So that by the time you're working on something that's over here, you are still doing this instead of losing it, basically.
Yeah, and if you're not doing that, then you often are coming across as that person who's whatever's going on behind your eyes is going so fast that steam's coming out of your ears, and you're trying to do everything. And
or you do that thing you used to do where you were trying to get good at eye contact, so you just stare really big-eyed at people.
Well, that was what was good, as I was trying to isolate eye contact, and I was able to see which direction was the wrong one. So you take it one by one. You do it till you build an unthinking habit. I gotta give the Charisma University pitch right here. That's what the course is about. So the difficulty in making the course was trying to keep each day new and interesting while keeping it focused on a particular habit. So if you go through first impressions, each action guide for that day is a different thing, but it's close enough to the day before that it builds on itself. So you're still building a habit around first impressions, though it feels fresh and interesting, and over the end of the 6 or 30 days, depending on if you're doing a week or a month.
People will email in and be like, hey, I really like what you do. I'm interested in the course, but I don't really understand. Why would I do this? You have 7 million YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And this is the answer. It's because
systems.
If you watch all the YouTube videos, it's overwhelming and you're not necessarily putting it into your life. Some people do. Some people write in and say it's life-changing, and that's awesome. Charisma University is supposed to make it so that it's guaranteed to be life-changing. So that's the real benefit, is it just does this.
So, in short, you got to build habits and systems one thing at a time.
Definitely one thing at a time.
Click the link in the description. What's else?
So we have one more question, and Jake asked a question that is pretty long, so I went ahead and summarized it.
Sure.
Basically, he's just saying, I'm an introvert, and I stay at home a lot and don't go out, but then I feel guilty about it and feel like I'm wasting my life.
Man, I know that life.
Yeah. That was a good question. I kind of like it.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, that was just sort of my summary of it, because it is pretty long. And
yeah, but first of all, thanks for asking, Jake. Appreciate the write-in. So I read it. I'll probably get some of the specifics wrong, but basically he's like, I want to have friends.
Yes.
They invite me to things, and I don't want to do those things because I'm an introvert.
Yes.
But I don't want to be a misanthrope. I don't want to be alone. What I want to do is have friends, but not have to do all the things that they invite me to do.
Yeah.
So what do I do? That's his question.
I mean, I have a reaction, but I'll let you go.
You go first. I was so busy remembering his question that I didn't have time to think about it.
Yeah.
I was just trying to get his question right.
So I'm becoming clear as I get older. I'm definitely an introvert.
Yeah, I'm an extrovert and you're an introvert.
Yeah,
I think that's
I'm definitely an introvert. And there's a careful balancing act between honoring the way you are while still pushing the comfort zone so that you can grow into what you might become. Because while someone's introversion, certainly mine at age 18, was not introversion just purely based on my character. It was based on the fact that I couldn't go into a social situation and enjoy it in that same way. I didn't have the skills to do so.
And you had social fear.
And I had the fear. So, I'm an introvert. Yes, but you're also really afraid.
You're scared.
Of this.
Yeah. And you can be an introvert who's not scared.
Exactly.
And from there, you can make an honest
honest decision in each situation. So what I chose to do at that point in my life, and what I would recommend, is to push your comfort zone a little bit, is to have a period of your life. It sounds like you might be on the younger side. And even if you're not, if you've never done this, it's worthwhile to say yes a bit more often. Do these sorts of things. Go out and find out how to make these fun. Learn how you can do something that all of your friends are doing that is maybe not immediately up your alley because you'd rather be reading a book, but to do it in a way that you are gregarious, outgoing, and fun. Don't just be there. Be the one who is chatting, talking, and engaging. And that's what, we did. We went out and tried to be the life of the party when we went there. Once you get more comfortable with that, it's much easier to, when you're invited, go, today, do I want to have fun in this way, or do I want to have introverted fun?
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be based on fear. In terms of beating yourself up,
do it. I'm just kidding.
It's not useful. If you're going to stay in, you've chosen to have fun staying in. But push yourself. Go out. You don't have to do it from a place of self-flagellation, but do it from a place of, okay, I'm going to the gym. This isn't necessarily fun to walk to the gym. It's not fun to do my first set, but hopefully after I get into it and when I'm done, I'll be proud of what I've done.
Yeah, or you'd be like, Charlie, and stop going to the gym.
Oh, you just quit.
So there's one other thing I would say to this, which is, and this is tough because it might involve making new friends, which I know is not fun, introvert or extrovert. People, there's an attachment to the people in your life. But hopefully you have a friend group that is doing things that you really like. So for instance, you're an introvert, but you love escape rooms. When me, you, and a couple of our friends go to an escape room, that's not something you drag yourself to.
No.
You are stoked. You're like, let's do this, right? Basketball at one point. You love playing basketball.
Yeah.
It's social. It's not social. Depends what part. But like, that wasn't something you had to force yourself to do because you loved basketball. And your friends were there. At least 9 of your friends were there.
Yeah.
So I think it can be anything. I have a cousin, he plays Dungeons and Dragons with his wife and their friends. And that's awesome. And there's 8 of them in a room. And that is a social thing. So it doesn't have to be going to a raging party. I think an important thing is finding people who are inviting you to things you want to do, even though you're an introvert, which I think everybody has something they like doing.
And if you're young, this is the same question that people ask me when they say, I don't know what I want to do with my life. What career do I like? You might not yet know the range of things that you like. So when I was 19 and I went to Costa Rica, I was invited to go out salsa dancing. I hate dancing. Why would I ever want to do that?
Because you're insecure.
Because I was 19 and I'd never been salsa dancing and I just thought dancing was dumb. I'm glad that I said yes. I'm glad that I stuck with it. I enjoy salsa dancing, I found out, but only after I did it. Yeah. So you might have to open that. If you're not sure what you like, try all of these different things. Go dancing, give VR a shot, go play a basketball, and you'll find out very quickly what you're intrigued by and what you're not, and then you can set up these sorts of events that appeal to you and can be more socially involved. So I think that's a good one. No more questions this week. I'm surprised that we're light.
Well, okay, so I do want to say that a couple people in the comments were actually confused as to how to get their question answered.
Oh.
So if you guys wanted to...
make Angel like it.
Post it on the main video.
Yeah.
The long one, the 1 hour one.
Okay.
Not necessarily on the clips. And then if people are liking it, that's more likely for it to come in, or if Angel thinks it's a good question. So maybe if you write something nice about him.
Who knows? And that was it for the questions?
Yep, that's it this week.
Cool. All right, well, we wrapped it up in an hour.
Yeah, man. Enjoy hanging out with your ma.
We've done it. Thanks, guys. Next week, I'm going to come really prepared. I promise.
Bring some fire.
I'll have some books that I've read for you.
I thought this was good.
Yeah, we kicked it. Anyways, have a wonderful day.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys.